How's it going, Farmer Life family? I'm extremely happy this week. Well, all weeks, but this week in particular because I've been wanting a Calvi, a member of my family, to show up. Hinchmans have abounded in Costa Rica, but the Calvis, no. And finally, my older sister, Kim, is here.
Yay.
She spent the week in Costa Rica. Nice little relaxing getaway for her. She lives in Boca Raton, Florida. So she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience here in Costa Rica. So, Kim, take it away.
Kim.
All right. Well, I came here from Florida. It was a day of travel, definitely, but it was so beautiful to get to a country that I've never been to before. The people have all been so incredibly nice to me. One thing Brian didn't warn me about was when I got off the plane and I went through immigration and went through customs. From the moment you walk out of the San Jose airport, literally people are diving on you. And as a female traveling alone, that was a little tricky because they're lovely people, but they all come at you at once. Taxi, this, that, and ever. And I speak very little Spanish, so at first I ignored them all and just walked. And finally, someone very nice came up to me and just said, can I help you at all? And I didn't feel threatened, and it was really, really nice. And another young lady who worked for a taxi service actually sat with me because I was waiting for my shuttle. Sat with me for about an hour and a half, and all she and I did was just talk about Costa Rica. She was a native. She was the sweetest thing on the planet.
You're so nice.
Yeah.
The locals in this country are so kind.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And it was a big factor in our decision to come to this country.
Oh, getting here was a lovely ride. I mean, it makes for a long day, but it was really beautiful. Seeing things you've never seen before, and the shuttle driver stops and has you look at cool stuff.
Like alligators. Like
they have these white crocodiles. I don't know if they're white, but they're very, very light colored, which unlike the big old alligators in Florida that I'm used to. They all sun themselves underneath the bridge, and they have a pecking order if you watch there long enough, and they float down with the tide underneath, and it was really cool to watch. And he had to sit there and watch that for a little while, and that was really neat. And then he drove us to Dominical, and that's where Brian and Jody picked me up, and I went to the farm. Now by then it was dark. It was dark. As Brian and I were talking about before, growing up and living in Florida, especially living in subdivisions, there is no such thing as pitch blackness. We were talking about that not too long ago.
Street lights.
Yeah, security lighting, motion detectors. There is no such thing as pitch blackness.
Path lights.
The technocratic world, all things, that kind of can affect sleep too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first night, I take Kim down to her cabin. It's kind of funny. I take Kim down to her cabin, and it's a nice cabin. She loves it, But, Kim will tell you about her experience.
And I finished taking my shower, and I laid down, and I looked up, and there was a humongous spider directly above the bed. And I looked up, and I went, oh. And he started to come down, and then he'd go back up, and then he'd come down again, and he caught him off, and he went back up.
Little food.
And it was fascinating to watch, but I was afraid to turn out the light. What can I say?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
As a result of leaving the light on all night, I got moths. I got some serious moths.
Got to turn your lights off at night on our farm pretty early.
Yeah. And so I got kind of a little freaked out, and I go out and I go to grab, it must have been at least midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning by then, and I go outside with my flashlight and pitch blackness. Now, I haven't seen the farm in the daytime yet at this point. So pitch black, I walk outside and nothing. I don't know which direction to go in. I don't remember anything. And, just standing there, and I'm going, I don't know what to do now. So for the most part, I spent the night with the light on. The next
Probably
morning,
not the smartest thing to do on our farm.
The next morning, yes, it looked like a mass kill of moths in the morning on the floor. But after that, I kind of got used to the way things are, and none of the bugs, they're all so beautiful. You come to admire all of them, from the praying mantises and all the different colors to the butterflies to the hummingbirds, which I have yet to get a picture of. And they come up to the house and all of them, they just kind of taunt me, and by the time I get the camera, they're gone. But it's unbelievably beautiful, and every day that you're there, you appreciate it more and more because you become a part of it more and more.
All right, so the first night, kind of a rough night, and then right, it's
Horseback
over.
riding.
The next day, you're doing. So like let's talk about some of the tours that you went on.
Okay.
You did a couple of days of horseback riding.
Right.
What did you think about that?
I had a great time. I'm a pretty experienced rider, but I will have to say that the horseback riding tour that I went on, the horses are so unbelievably safe, and they know their job so well. You know, that's the thing. If you're used to trail rides, say you have experience on a horse, if you're used to trail rides where they're kind of boring in these type of situations, it wasn't, not at all. The horses really know their job, and you can get as much or as little out of that part of it, but the landscape is beautiful. They go up to these beautiful vistas where you can look down at the beach, you can look down at the valley, you can see everywhere and really appreciate where you are, what it is, and based on where I live, what it's not. And that's just as important, It really is truly unbelievable. The horseback riding trip was amazing because I got to see close up so many different things.
Nice.
I got to try fruit on the trail, and I was told about so many of the vegetation, what they are, what they're native, and all of that.
And you go right through the village.
Yes.
So you really get to experience.
Our Pueblo. Yep.
Everyone says hello.
Yeah.
Everyone's appreciative of you
Very
being
friendly.
there. And I speak so woefully little Spanish, and they were so
friendly,
kind.
yeah.
Oh, unbelievable so,
Right.
and very accommodating,
One of my favorite times, seeing the expression on your face, I was waiting for this because everybody does this expression during the Nayaka. Oh, I love it when I see when people are looking the first time they go down to the hike and they go to Nayaka Waterfall, which they boasted to be one of the most beautiful in the country. And to watch my sister's jaw just go, holy shit. So tell us a little bit about Nayaka.
It was beautiful. It was just absolutely breathtaking. The hike, and Brian, of course, has told me there are a lot bigger hikes than this one, but it was plenty. It gave me plenty of good workout to get up there and get down there, which, of course, he did in bare feet, which is still amazing to me, but I was wearing my Vibrams, and that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit of a hike, but again, it was beautiful to look at. It's a well-maintained trail, and we got down there, and again, there was a tour. And there were people there that were kind of showing off and jumping off from the highest portion down into the water, just swan diving into that water. And the water is so beautiful. I can't remember the last time I ever went to a stream and felt comfortable just drinking from it. And that was just absolutely amazing. And one of Brian and Jody's dogs came with us.
Caesar boy.
Caesar rocks.
Awesome dog.
Caesar watches everyone. Caesar was a hero amongst even the tour group.
Yes.
Because he would go out and attempt to save everyone.
That's right.
If you were swimming, he'd swim towards you. You had to expect it.
Mm-hmm. Scratch the hell out of you. That's our Caesar.
Yes, but he was just awesome. He is a great trail dog to have. He was a blast, an absolute blast.
He's a blessing on the farm, that's
he
for
sure is. All three dogs are amazing.
So we had a blast on that hike. Now, our town day in Perez Zeledón. What did you think of the feria? Where all the fruits and vegetables are, all the fruits and vegetables that we buy for our farm. What did you think about that?
My husband's a chef in the
Jeremy,
United States.
you love it.
And he would never have come back from that. I think he would just set up shop there and just would have sat and learned Spanish very quickly.
Yeah.
I just stood there and with all the things that you can purchase, and that town was really, really quaint. Just nice people and friendly, and basically had everything. There were some interesting movies in the video store, I will admit.
Yes.
Some things you just don't see in the U.S.
Some
anymore.
Bootleg movies and the old movies that they have. Some of them are really great.
Yes, but even so, everywhere we went, there was something kind of new to explore, something unique to this country, and a lot of Americans. Even when we went over to the fresh market. There was lots of Americans there, and I got to use mostly my money I did use some of the Costa Rican money as well, but I didn't make much of an exchange, and there was no problem, which I was really worried about at first.
Yeah.
You know?
The American dollar is king here. They take it. It's not a big deal, for sure.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
So, Jeremy, when you come down again with Kim, your lovely wife, you are going to love the fruits and vegetables and just everything that the Feria has to offer. I mean, it's unbelievable, the produce and the selection. Incredible. Local, seasonal, natural, organic. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I've tried fruits and vegetables that I don't even know they can get in the United States.
Yep, the biraba, the lemon, the one that tastes like lemon meringue pie. Yep. We've tried lots of different stuff.
And the little sweet potatoes.
Oh, the camote.
I would love to have those in the United States. You would love that. Love it.
Now, one of our crown jewel trips, it's the furthest we go for trips that we take guests on, is Manuel Antonio National Park. And we're sitting here at a very, very posh, it's definitely higher end than our place, no doubt. Very, very posh place where we're going to grab a bite to eat here.
Suede couch.
Yeah, suede couches. Right. So we're here, and so Kim, tell us a little bit about Manuel Antonio National Park.
Today?
We had some. It's a jewel national park. It gets the most tourist traffic in this country, and we're about an hour and a half away from it, so it's really our furthest trip. But Kim, tell us about it a little bit.
Let's see. We got here fairly early this morning. It was a little bit of a walk, just the drive down here. All of a sudden you hit vistas where you see the rocks and the beach, and just the shoreline is fantastic. It really is. Every time you turn around, you just see a different shoreline, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And so as we headed down to where we parked, we went to the national park. And again, there's tour guides everywhere. I mean, it's almost like you don't even have to pay for ones. If you stop with a tour group, they'll just
you just pilfer off them. You feel bad about it, but
you eavesdrop.
You're like, hey, what are they looking at?
They have these high-powered cameras and telescopes and all of that, and you're sort of like, hey, what you looking at? We bogarted it in some tour groups, but you know, we moved along, and then we got to the beach, and the beach was just unbelievable. And as we were walking towards our spot, there's monkeys. My brother had promised me that the little white-faced monkeys were everywhere, and I started to see them as we got closer to where we were going to stop on the beach. And you know, Brian being Brian, a true banana lover, he had all of us get a lot of bananas off the farm. So we had a lot of bananas with us.
Attracts the bananas, attracts the monkeys. Sorry.
And I really didn't know what to expect. He's like, oh, they may come up to you, whatever. So we find a place to sit down. And we just start pulling out our bananas, and sure enough, Brian walks over. We see two of them, just two young ones, and you know, people are snapping pictures anyway. They're up high in the trees or whatever. As soon as Brian pulls out those bananas, down they come, and I'm thinking, they're not going to come that close. Sure enough, he holds one out, and they just grab it, and they don't even run. They don't like grab it and run far away from you. They just sort of grab it and back up a couple feet.
Back up a branch. Yep.
So they can rest and eat up.
It's like, don't rush me. Thank you.
Yeah, and after that, we got more monkeys. It was kind of like feeding pigeons after a while.
Yeah, I mean, truly amazing. Yep.
They all started to show up. There were people snapping pictures of like 7 of them sitting in this one location, and we had some bananas left over, and I'm like, I'm going over. And I only had 2 bananas with me, and I realized fairly early on that I could be in trouble with 7 monkeys and only 2 bananas. So I started breaking them up, and people were snapping pictures. She's like, oh, she's going to feed them. And they couldn't believe they were taking them out of my hand. And one took one, and I was breaking them up, and one took another. And one little one jumped down to the ground and smacked me until I gave him a piece of banana. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, they were going to run and just grab it and run away. This one just stood there and demanded food from me. And I was like, okay, here you go. But I mean, that was just unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
So you fed monkeys and you were smacked by a monkey.
Fed and smacked.
I was slapped by a monkey.
Yes. But one last thing I want you to talk about was the farm, you know, because I know that first night was tough, right? But then the next day and all the subsequent days, tell us a little bit about what you experienced on the farm.
You know, it's tremendously peaceful. I know there are lots more words for it that just don't come to me right now.
Yeah.
But as the days went by, I didn't feel the need to entertain myself with anything more than, say, sometimes just a book. I didn't miss the internet. I didn't miss. Somebody had told me somewhere, we went down to a market, or so I overheard some Americans say, you know, oh, the American government's going to shut down, they can't agree on something. I didn't care.
Yeah, right.
I know it's horrible to say. I was like, oh, okay. You know, but
I'm not there.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's incredibly reflective. You a lot of times when you take away the things that distract us in life, you've got your thoughts, for better or worse, you know, but you can sit over and enjoy these beautiful vistas and see all these you know, animals and birds and just of every kind. And after a while, you just learn to realize that you're a part of all of this.
Nice.
You know, it doesn't separate you. You know, I'm a human in my home from the animals that are outdoors. It just sort of feels like you're all in the same place together.
You're integrated with it all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the experience on the farm.
I couldn't agree more.
You know, and the yoga platform is so quiet and peaceful and meditative up there, right, with the views.
Right. Oh,
really
absolutely. The workers on the farm, they're
awesome.
amazing. They're amazing at what they'll do. You know, and how Brian and Jody speak with them, and they have ideas, and between all of them, they just get it done.
We're
you
team.
know?
It's a team concept. Yep.
It's truly, truly amazing. And there are people at the farm that I've met that are on healing protocols and all that, and I'm not one of them this time out. But they're just lovely, lovely people, and they believe wholeheartedly in everything that Brian and Jody are teaching. And you know, that it's such a heartwarming experience.
Yeah,
it really is. It really is to see how happy they are and how committed they are to this. You know, it really is infectious, without a doubt. You know, it makes you want to be there, right there with them. You know, even if you were just coming to get out of the United States or any other country and just visit Costa Rica.
Nice. It's almost like when guests come to the farm, within 48 hours, everyone's a family.
No doubt. And everybody was just so kind and loving and helpful. You know, helpful is a great way of putting it. Simple, but it gets the point across.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kim, thank you. Honestly,
No, thank you.
All right.
Both of you.
It's been so much fun having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've really
I've
enjoyed this week. I really have, and I'm excited that you're the first Calvi that came.
I know.
Mark, Kaylee, Taylor, you know, Jeremy, Mom and Dad, please, I'm begging you.
Yeah.
One time, maybe for your 50th or whatever, you know, let's put our heads together. I'd like you guys to experience this country.
Absolutely.
And see what it's all about, because it's really majestic, you know.
You
really
will love
majestic.
this country. Everybody, I mean, but speaking to my own family, you will truly, truly love this country. And I am very proud that I'm the first Calvi here outside of my brother and my sister-in-law.
All right.
You know, so. Yay.
All right, so Farmer Life family, we're signing off. The first Calvi, Costa Rica. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.